In 1989 was more than 60%. Now it was 74. Absolutely record in the history of independent Poland.
It confirms and proves that this Central European country, it remains the country which is, let's say, an exemplary for the region. This will be one of the markers and indicators. How shall they build the Polish policy and the Polish-Ukrainian relations?
Hello and welcome to Ukraine in Flames, a special project by Ukraine Media Center, an NGO Euro-Atlantic course, and I'm your host, Myroslava Yaremki. The victory of opposition forces in the parliamentary elections in Poland caused a lot of hope, even euphoria in Ukraine. It is seen as a potential shift towards a more pro-European foreign policy stance, raising expectations for enhanced cooperation between Kyiv and Warsaw. Polish society turned out to be healthy and did not react to the anti-Ukrainian rhetoric of politicians in a frantic fight for votes. But Warsaw's policy can bring new risks for Kyiv. In today's episode, we're going to talk about parliamentary election results in Poland and what they mean for Polish-Ukrainian relations, especially regarding the grain issue. If you want to learn more about this subject, please continue watching this video and subscribe to our channel so that you don't miss our videos in the future. The fact that pro-European forces won in Poland is definitely a positive thing for Ukraine. Despite all the attempts of the ODS Confederation to play on pro-Russian narratives, it failed to deceive Polish voters. This is very important, especially in a time of rising nationalist sentiments across Western and Central Europe. Ukraine will not receive another Hungary on its western border that will block the decisions of the European Union regarding Ukraine. More on why these elections turned out to be one of the most important elections in the history of independent Poland, please welcome Jakub Olhovskii, candidate of political sciences at Curie-Skłodowska University in Lublin.
Probably the most important election in Poland since 1989. And it's not only my opinion, because if we look at numbers, I mean, how many Polish citizens actually participated in this election, actually voted, this is absolutely a record. I mean, in 1989 was more than 60%. Now it was 74. Absolutely record in the history of independent Poland. So absolutely, it was the most important election. Another thing why it was so important, I think that two more reasons. One reason, it's mobilization, extraordinary mobilization of many social groups and many age groups that so far have not been very involved in political processes. First of all, it regards young people. Young people, I mean people from 18 to 29. They went to vote. 68%, if I remember well. This is if I'm sure, this is the second time in the history of Polish elections when the youngest group of voters was larger than the oldest one, people 60 plus. Because in this group, 60 plus, it was probably 67%, and 68% when it comes to young people. This is really something new, because so far young people they participated in elections, at the level of 20%, 20 something. So this is really important. And another thing is that Polish people, they showed that it's time. This is time for a change. For a change. It means that the ruling party, Prawo i Sprawiedliwość, Law and Justice, was not able for 8 last years to convince Polish people that this is a good vision and this vision should be continued. The vision of the state, the vision of the nation, society, etc. So probably these are the main conclusions.
The election outcome is clear. Opposition parties have a promising opportunity to forge a coalition, potentially bringing an end to the 8-year rule of the Law and Justice ruling party. There are still many difficulties ahead. There are many differences among the opposition, and the three-party coalition is actually a conglomerate of many parties and movements. Candidate of political sciences and foreign policy expert Stanislav Zhelikhovsky will talk more about the election results and what they mean for Europe and Ukraine in particular.
This is really an important discussion. Parliamentary elections in Poland, we have to understand that a lot depends on Poland when it comes to Ukraine, namely in the context of struggling in this full-scale war as well, Russia against us. So I want to congratulate, of course, Poland and Polish citizens. The elections were held and you already managed to process 100% of the votes from the poll stations, and democratic processes are viable in Poland. We can see it. And again, it confirms and proves that this Central European country, it remains the country which is, let's say, an exemplary for the region, a flagship of the region, regardless of the problems and regardless of how strong was the power that we had there for so many years. But still, a chance is given to other political powers and political groups to get some leverage to handle the country. In fact, we can say that the biggest achievement is that this process is ongoing in a democratic manner. This is the most important thing. Of course, if we take the results, I can say that. Of course, they are the winners. There was nothing surprising. Maybe some doubts were about the percentage they would get. Maybe we expected, if we take like those polls that we had within the last weeks for the Civic Coalition, it went up a little bit, but Law and Justice did not get that number. They actually dreamed of, let's say, something they expressed, and they did everything to get a chance to get as many mandates in the parliament, in the new convocation. I was surprised with the figures. Confederation of Freedom and Independence, for that party, I was surprised with their figures. The results within, according to so many polls that we had even in summer, they even took like the third place. Sometimes even there was like 15% at that level. So this decline up to fifth place, 7%. Almost twice. This is like very surprising, and it was a surprising thing for me. The Confederation tried to take as many votes as it could from the peace, but we can still see that they didn't manage to do it. And respectively, it's quite turbulent right now and very intense in the HQ, and they're trying to find someone to blame. Well, we may talk about that as well, but I will not just stress on this now. We can definitely see that there were certain surprising things, some unexpected stuff, but the matrix of results, generally, that we see, it corresponds to the reality. The only thing is that, of course, it will be the most intriguing thing, like who will shape the majority that will later lead the government of the Republic of Poland.
The topic of Ukrainian grain became one of the factors influencing the electoral campaign in Poland. Ukraine should not hope for an easy solution to this issue. The Ukrainian government will have to sit down at the negotiation table with its Polish colleagues. Anatoliy Kurnosov from Center for Political Studies Doctrine and Ukrainian-Polish media platform will elaborate more on that.
We have a very interesting situation because they say that Law and Justice won the elections. Okay, yeah, they won the elections. They got the majority of votes. And this is quite a powerful result because 3 times in a row getting the top level, it's a serious result. Elections after elections, and they again got the majority of votes. Apart from that, how more than 33%, if I'm not mistaken, 35% of votes. This is a powerful result. More than 1/3 of votes, and this party, in any case, will remain an important factor, an important, let's say, power in Polish political life, an important actor, subject, even if it's in opposition. If we touch upon the grain issue, Ukrainian grain, this will be one of the markers and indicators. How shall they build the Polish policy and the Polish-Ukrainian relations? Because this issue we mostly associate with law and justice here in Ukraine. At the same time, in Polish political system, there are no discussions for Ukrainian grain. To keep the moratorium for import of grain, it was supported mostly by everyone, all the political parties. Maybe it wasn't stressed that much because in mid-August, I asked myself, the civic platform, what are they saying about this? And in the end of August, beginning of September, there was a statement given by Donald Tusk and Kłodowska, who expressed it. They wanted to keep the embargo and extend the embargo in 20 various items like beetroots and carrots, not just the grain they mentioned. And now, if these people shape the government, a good question is there, okay, if we have the Christmas period, we have new government, and a program is there like January 1st, 2024, will the decision be made which will fully comply with the European Commission opinion on deblocking the import of grain or not? And the same thing for many other issues. We saw a very active position of Poland after the full-scale invasion started. So not expecting any decisions from the Brussels or other capitals. Polish were engaged intensely. They provide a lot of assistance to us. Will it be positive in future if European bureaucracy, it still exists. I'm not giving any negative connotations, but European structure, European system, it doesn't work instantly. It's an open question. The historic memory, well, I usually take it from 2 sides. Some negative moments there are where we cannot reach the consensus. And it's not just about historians, because we need to have a broader civic dialogue. But we also have some positive moments for Polish historic memory. I remember the words of current director of Polish Institute, Robert Olhovskii. He once said that Polish do not need to privatize of the Rzeczpospolita history, the first one. And he said, I encourage Ukrainian to analyze that history, and if they think it's their history, then you can just take it closer, let's say. This Polish civic revival, let's say, and this support in the first days, I may be mistaken, but they took something from that historical policy, because Polish, they reminded us that once we lived in one country, it was a big one, a powerful one, a democratic one, as of that moment in Europe, and that these certain historic and family relations, that these are the ties.
You've been watching a special project by Ukraine Media Center and Euro-Atlantic course dedicated to the Russian-Ukrainian war, Ukraine in Flames. In the description under this video, you can find information on how you can help Ukraine fight Russian aggression. If you find our work useful, please like and share this video. Slava Ukraini!